Good morning, good afternoon. It is Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Korach, very exciting parsha. Everyone and their sister and brother has Dvar Torah with Korach and Shem Shemayim. What was the argument about? And just a couple of words with Sfas Emes kind of chimes in to understand what's happening here. Sfas Emes is of the mindset that the argument started off okay and turned bad. Everyone in Tov Resh Mem Zayin, Sfas Emes talks about that everyone is different. Everyone has machlokesim. It's a normal thing to do this. Hill and Shammai, people have disagreements. You open up the Rishonim and the Ramban against Rashi, Ibn Ezra, so a lot of different arguments, and people are arguing, but it's a Shem Shemayim. Therefore, it's a good thing. Sfas Emes talks about how every person is different. We said this a few times, that everyone has different Yetzer Hara, everyone different Yetzer Tov, everyone learns Torah differently, everyone connects to Hashem differently, everyone has a koach and a certain power that you have. Some people have it greater in some areas, some have it in other areas. You're supposed to channel your own passions, your own powers, your kochos in the right way. It was interesting this past week, as Dr. Eli Schussheim passed away. He was the father-in-law of someone from our shul, and he was the president of Efrat, Crib Efrat, it's called, Committee for Rescue of Israeli Babies. And I didn't really know what it was exactly, what this organization was. All I know was when I saw this guy in shul, I knew it's a long davening, because this Dr. Schussman, this older fellow, he was a chazan, and in our shul we have chazanim, but it goes a little bit on the quick side perhaps. And when this fellow would daven, we were in for a long davening, because he had a really nice voice, and a very chazanish voice, and they asked him to daven all the time, so he's daven. But when he passed away, and I read a little bit more about him, I saw something very interesting, is that the Efrat, the organization called Efrat, is here to counsel women when they're pregnant, and they should not go through abortions, and looked online, found a little bit about the organization and this doctor who just passed away this week, and that the organization has helped 75,000 babies to be born as opposed to being aborted. So just incredible. Just think about it. 75,000 people are walking around now, or crawling at some point. They were crawling. That wouldn't be alive. And just reading about this man, that he became a doctor to save lives. He felt abortion was just a horrible thing. And how many Jewish people in Israel he saved from being aborted is just mind-boggling. And the point is, everyone has their own yisronos, chesronos, everyone has their own kochos, everyone has their own power to do something, and a person shouldn't feel, Dr. Schussheim did something great, I can't do anything, I'm a zero. And the Sfas Emes in Shavuos says the opposite. Every time you open up a siddur, you daven, it's very important to Hashem. And every chesed we do, everything that we do, every kochos that we have from Hashem, we channel it the right way, as best as we can. Everyone has a different koach that someone else has. This guy davens better, this guy gets tzedakah better, he can cook, she can cook better, he can donate this, he's a driver, he can help different areas, and our real job is to find what we have, our kochos, and to channel it in that way, which is kind of the opposite of what Korach did. Korach, the Medrash says he was wealthy. He had a third of the wealth that Yosef had. He had a third of it. I don't know how Korach got all this money, but he was wealthy. 300 animals carried the keys of his safes. So how incredibly wealthy he was. He was smart. He was a lot of kavod. He had a lot of great talents. He was a motivator. He was energetic. He was the head of Bnei Levi Kamat. He helped after the Chet of the Egel. He had great questions, and he was posing great questions to Moshe. The problem was he attributed all these kochos to himself. I am great, I am smart, I'm a Levi, I was born with this is all my doing. And when you think when you're selfish and you think everything you have is yours, then you look at other people differently as well. You know what? All these things are mine. Aaron must have gained all this kochos from himself. So I'm selfish. Aaron must be also doing this for his selfish reasons. Moshe is keeping the power for himself because he's also selfish. And a person has to realize that everything he has from Hashem. Three presents in the world: Chachma, Gevura, Osher, the Medrash says. And you have to recognize the Manas Hashem. You know, the fact that you're smart or strong or you're wealthy is from Hashem. And we'll see in a couple of weeks, Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain, Kli Yakar has a problem with this, is that they put all their strengths and their attributes into what they did, how wealthy they are, and a person has to realize that all his kochos are really from Hashem. When you channel your kochos and your strengths to Hashem, then you realize that other people are doing things also, they're getting from Hashem. And when you are selfish and you think everything is for me, me, and me, you view the world, them being selfish, then we have machloksim that are not l'shem shemayim. Then it's really a power struggle. It's really about what I can do, what I am. You don't really care about other people, and it's become selfish. And we see that that's the dialogue. Korach is all about gathering people, gathering kavod. Moshe calls him. He doesn't want to go and speak to Moshe. Aaron, on the other hand, Aaron doesn't say a word because Aaron knows he's not in this for himself. Aaron was chosen. Aaron was embarrassed to do this. Aaron was part of the Egel. Korach wasn't. Aaron was part of the Egel. And all these years, Aaron probably felt that he wasn't worthy of it. And this is why he was chosen. And you see this whole parsha, Moshe has to push Aaron to do these things. Aaron probably didn't want to do it and probably felt inadequate. And this is what a person should feel. A person should feel, I have these talents. Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I have too much of something, but Hashem gave me these kochos, Hashem gave me the money, Hashem gave me these things to do, and I have to channel my kochos and the money and the chachma the best way. Not just learning Torah, but doing mitzvos, helping other people, doing chesed. Shabbat shalom.